So today we're looking at 3 different balls you can use to play in your backyard, and we're starting right now. So first up we have the tennis ball. Make sure to use an old tennis ball, as a new tennis ball can easily bounce and go over the fence, and you don't want to be losing loads of balls. Trust me, I've done it. Before we go and test out how the tennis ball performs on the pitch, I just wanted to let you know that the pitch I'm using is the pitch that I made in an earlier video. So you can go and find it up here. There should be a link somewhere up here. So go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. It teaches you how to make a basic backyard cricket pitch. So it'll be useful when you're actually playing in the garden. With that said, let's test out the tennis ball with some pace bowling. As you can see, the bounce is consistent, but is more than a normal hardball pitch. Now let's try out some spin bowling. As you can see, the spin is slow, so the batsman can go easily back and play the ball. This is dissimilar to hardball pitches, where the ball would spin quicker and it would be more difficult for the batsman to react to the spin of the ball. So we've tested out the tennis ball, so we don't need that anymore. So it has a few pros. It's quite easy to replace because it's the cheapest of the 3 balls, and also it's easy to hit. It travels quite a lot, so it's good for younger kids to have a play around in the garden. But it also has some cons. So it's quite unrealistic in terms of the bounce compared to hardball, so it's not great for proper practice. And also it's quite easy to lose because it can bounce and go over the fence, or even off the bat. Even if you edge it, it can easily go over. So now we're probably looking at the mid-range ball. So this is a wind ball, gun and more ball. So it swings in the air, helps if there's a bit of a breeze, and it will swing in the air. It's a little bit harder than the tennis ball, so it's okay for decent practice as well as a swing, and you get a bit of spin on it as well. So let's go test it out. Firstly, some pace bowling. As you can see, there is decent pace off the pitch, as well as seam and swing. The ball also bounces a lot less than the tennis ball. Now for some spin bowling. With the wind ball, the ball spins faster off the pitch. You also get decent but not excessive bounce. So, we've tested out the wind ball. What are the pros? You get swing, seam, and also spin with this ball, which you don't get with the tennis ball. And also it can be used in casual games, just as giving a bit of a challenge to the batsman and allowing the bowlers to show their skills. However, there are obviously some negatives as well. So it's more expensive than the tennis ball, and also you can still lose it. It's quite easy to hit out, a bit harder than the tennis ball, but you can still lose it. And because it's more expensive, it's going to be more difficult to replace, and it might be not worth an investment if you keep losing the ball. The last ball we're going to check out is probably the most high-end of the 3. It's commonly known as an incredi-ball, but this is probably the higher end of incredi-balls, so they called it a skills ball. So I think this is the closest you can get to a hard ball when you're playing in the garden. So one of this ball's main features is the fact that it has a white and a red side. This is so that you know your seam position when you're bowling pace, or if you're bowling spin as well. This one probably feels the best in the hand. It's got quite a pronounced seam, nice to get your hand behind, and it's a perfect weight. It's definitely the best out of the 3 if you want to practice with it. So, without further ado, let's go test it out. First up, let's test out some pace bowling. As you can see, the bounce, seam and swing is very similar to that of a hard ball. The red and white sides are also very helpful to knowing how good your seam position is. Now let's test out some spin ball. As you can see, there is decent spin and also bounce, but the main thing is that the spin is fast, not slow. So we've tested out this higher end incredi-ball, this skills ball, and we found some positives and negatives. So firstly, it's the closest to a hard ball and has similar bounce, seam and swing. It's also suited to hardcore practice, so you can use it for hardcore catching if you don't want to damage anything with a hard ball, and obviously with hardcore batting. And then there's the cons. So it's the most expensive ball, so it's going to be really hard to replace if you lose it. And also it's unsuitable for casual playing. You won't be able to hit it anywhere with a plastic bat, and it will hurt your legs if it hits you, things like that. So it's probably reserved for hardcore practice only. Make sure to check out these other videos from our channel. And thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.